Thank you for the beautiful introduction. It strikes me every time we do this, the messages continue to go across. And that's what I've learned from life and from the patients or the students, is that when you repeat the message, it will be drilled to their brains somehow. So in my chapter, I had so many people when I share my life with them, my life story with them, they tell me, what, you should put it in a book. You should put it in a book. So many things happened to you. And I thought all my life, it's not worth it. What would other people learn from it? No, it's just my personal experience. How would it add a value or add some inspiration to others? No, I won't. Until the time came and I learned the lesson that, oh, yes, when we share our stories, we could inspire others. We could show them that you're not alone, and then life will go on. My bottom line message, and it was also in the introduction to the book, is that we need to slow down. We're always on autopilot, and life flies so quickly, time so quickly. And ta-da! One day I woke up at 45, completely paralyzed from the waist down because I had prolapsed discs and I couldn't get up. And I even felt it because a day earlier, I told my students it was like the final exams for the clinical exam, and I told them, I might not be there to evaluate you because I don't think I'll get up tomorrow. I don't even have the strength. And it happened. And that 3 months later, I was operated on, and it took me another 3 months to regain my power to be able to walk again. And that was the worst time health-wise. Going back in time, when I was 5, I had a car accident, and I learned that pain became my friend. And at only 5, I had so many crushed internal organs because the car was moving on my body several times, and we were vacationing. So that vacation became the worst time in my life. And then at 15, we had the Iraq invaded Kuwait, and I witnessed war at 15. And I said, okay, this is also normal. I didn't even have time to process the feelings or to process what I should be feeling, because I was always in this fight or flight mode all the time. And it became my norm. And then at 25, I was on the plane witnessing the Twin Towers, the World Trade Center in New York being disrupted. And then, of course, we had to shift course and go to Canada, change the route, and being held at a school there in Dartmouth, looked after by the Canadian Red Cross, because we became statistics. And then I said, what is this? What is happening? Why all is this happening to me? What's the lesson? What's the message? God, please show me. And then at 45, the good thing is that at 35, I got my PhD, and of course, with all the tears and blood and all burning all the midnight oil and everything. But that was the only bright thing that kept me going. And when I lost the ability to walk at 45, that was it. That was the lesson. That was the loudest that I've heard the lessons that God has been sending me, and I was ignoring because I was on autopilot. So my message to you is to slow down, listen to the messages. The lessons that we skip become the patterns that we repeat. And when they becomes the pattern, it becomes very difficult for us to change them. So I advise you, and I do this now on regular basis, on weekly basis, even if it's not on daily basis, that I take a moment to breathe, reflect on what happened in the past week, past month, past year, whatever it is, whatever period you would like. But I do it on daily basis now and on weekly basis because I need to reinvent myself for every week I live. It might be my last, so why not live it to the maximum? So I advise you, I wish this, that we reflect, analyze what happened, reevaluate the situation, and revamp your life on a regular basis. And as Diane said, 2026 is the year of the new beginning. And in the Chinese year, it's going to start on the 17th of February, which is what is it? The fire horse. So new beginnings. Let's just fall in love again with ourselves every day, every minute, every second. When we're full of love, we only reflect love. Thank you for being here. Love you all. And thank you for listening.
Let's give it up for Muneera. Muneera, you also, you share so much. And, we also have another chat that we do. It's called the Morning Coffee Talk. And Muneera was the inspiration for that. So we have quite a few people in that group. And every now and then, Muneera will share her special gift. So next we have on the agenda, Olga, you got some? What you got, girlie?
Yes. I want to do another wheel, if
Okay.
you would allow.
Okay,
Yes, let's
please
do that for the
We got lots of
hardcover of the
prizes.
book. Yes, more prizes. Here you go. And the number of people is growing. Now we have 147.
Sel. Is that Sel?
That's Sel.
Congrats. We know who Sel is. Sel
Okay.
is Kim Jordan's VA. Congrats, Sel.
Congrats.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
That's it? Okay. So, Muneera, thank you for such a great delivery. And next, who do we have coming up next? We have our very own guru sister, Lori Clontz. Is Lori ready? Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about Lori. Lori writes about perfectionism, expectations, and the moment we constantly striving to stop feeling like growth and start feeling like we're in a cage. Through her story, she shares what it took to release the need to prove, perform, and push. And instead, she chose authenticity, self-trust, and freedom. Her chapter is honest, relatable, and deeply grounding, especially for anyone who has ever tied their worth to doing things well. Lori, I read your chapter and I so relate. Okay, we all want to have everything perfect before we start to do anything. Okay, and it keeps us stuck. So, Lori, the floor is yours.
Let me start with a quick question. Put a 1 in the chat if you have ever rewritten an email 3, 4, even 5 times just because it didn't sound quite right yet. Yeah, you don't have an email problem. You have paralysis from perfectionism. As she said, I'm Lori Clontz. I'm a certified neuroencoding specialist, an elite certified neuroencoding coach, and founder of Start Driving Your Destiny. I help high-achieving women stop stalling their careers with the toxic 10, some disguised as perfectionism, and start kickstarting their progress using brain-based tools, coaching, and techniques. My chapter, Throttle Past Perfect, is to help you get past that paralysis of perfectionism. I used to believe that perfection was the path to peace. If I did everything right, I'd finally feel enough. But perfection didn't bring peace. It brought pressure, and pressure eventually cracks you. It started early for me. I was about 12 years old, a report card in hand, 6 A's and 1 A minus. I handed it to my dad expectantly. He looked at the report card, looked at me, and asked, "How come this isn't a 4.0? Well, that wasn't feedback. That was a belief installation. Near perfect isn't enough. And it followed me into adulthood, dressed up as high standards. But here's the truth. Perfectionism is not high standards. It's self-protection, and it costs you time, joy, decisiveness, presence. It takes your life in pieces, one delayed dream, one missed moment at a time. So here's what I teach. In my chapter, you'll see the 5 years to shift out of that perfection loop fast. Step number 1, notice the loop. Are you preparing or are you hiding? Number 2, interrupt that pattern. Move your body, change your state. It's neuroscience. Number 3, take imperfect action. 10 minutes. Start messy, but start now. Step 4, reframe the story. Feedback isn't a verdict. It's data. And number 5, celebrate your progress because your brain repeats what you reward. Your life isn't waiting for you to be perfect. It is just waiting for you. I do have a free companion workbook for my chapter. It's called the Throttle Past Perfect Playbook. And if you want personal support, you can book a complimentary jumpstart call. The link for both of these is at the close of my chapter. So now, take the handlebars. Pressure doesn't create peace. Presence creates that power. And you are the driver. Let's ride.
Wow, let's give it up for Lori. What a great presentation. Thank you, Lori. Yes, yes, yes. That was really, really good. And not good, but great. And I love the lesson there. Perfection is perfection is not self-protection. Okay, Lori, and I'm so admired. I spent so many weeks, quite a few weeks in Mexico with Lori and her husband Robin. And it's always a joy to spend time with them in person. And we look forward to doing even more of that at some point soon. So Lori, thank you so much for that. So
Yes, one thing, Lori is launching a new workshop in March.
yes.
Lori, you can talk about that a bit more. And she is gifting the tuition to this workshop to 2 lucky people. So Lori,
Okay.
would you like to explain what that workshop is?
You bet. The workshop is called Throttle Forward. It's a 6-week brain reboot for real life. It's based on neuroencoding principles taught by my mentor, Joseph McClendon III. And so it'll be 6 weeks long. There'll be work to do. There'll be breakout sessions, etc. This typically runs for several $1,000s, but I'm starting it brand new for me in March, and the introductory price is just $147. So I'll gift everybody here, if they send me an email to Laurie at startdrivingyourdestiny.com, I'll give you a discount code for $100. But 2 lucky winners today will get free access to the workshop.
Okay, I'm going to share the bill in a second, but can you put your email in the chat so people would be able to grab it?
Okay, so that is a great discount. Okay, and listen, you all could tell Lori knows how to teach. And I've been in a workshop with her lately, and I'm looking forward to her presentation tomorrow. But not really her workshop, but she's participating in another workshop, and she's presenting. So I'm excited about that. And for $47, it is so worth it. Okay, and 2 lucky people are gonna win it for free. Let's see what that wheel says.
Who is that? Margaret? What's the last name? And are you here?
Margaret. Hopefully we have just one Margaret.
Margaret, can you put if you're here, put something in the chat?
Going once? Going twice? Okay, I'll go spin the wheel. There's more
Okay,
prizes to win.
let's do it. Layla, bread and
Layla.
steak. Are you here, Layla? Yes, Layla is here. Congratulations. Okay, I am going to record your information and pass it forward to Lori, but let's spin the wheel one more time for the second winner. And congratulations, Layla. Carrie, Carrie, are you here?
Carrie Lily?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I saw Carrie in
Yes,
the
it's
in the room.
iPhone 182. Okay.
Yeah. Congrats, Carrie.
Congratulations, Carrie and Layla.
Yes.
Okay, so let me introduce you to our next speaker, and it is Domo. Domo shares a deeply reflective and very touching story that takes us back to those early moments when safety, creativity, and inner words become anchors. And her chapter reminds us that resilience doesn't always look loud or strong on the outside. Sometimes it looks like retreating inward, observing, and learning how to hold yourself when no one else can. And please join me in welcoming Domo to the stage. I don't see you, Domo. Here, I see you now. You're muted, one sec.
Okay, can you hear me?
Perfect, yes.
Hello. Hi, everybody. First off, I'd like to thank you, Olga and Diane. Thank you so very much. It is such an honor to be here with all of you amazing people. Happy birthday, Olga.
Thank you.
Oof, am I nervous? So I started my journey of healing and allowing my voice to finally be heard when I realized, like so many of us do, that I was in a cycle of complete blah. I couldn't look in the mirror without hearing complete nonsense constantly. And I knew that I wanted my kids to see what and who their mom really was, besides just a crazy mom. I wanted to be a better woman for my husband and myself. I felt I owed it to the girl in the tree, to the little me. I've had an amazing, I'm actually had the honor of, I'm going to cry, looking up to an amazing woman and dear friend, sister to myself, Jennifer. You guys might all know her. She's on here. Jenny has given me the push that I needed, and I cannot thank her enough. Olga and Diane have helped me to stand up and be able to look in the mirror, to continue to help and serve others. And by me doing that, I've realized that it is helping me tremendously to heal. I'm sorry, I wrote notes, you guys, because I was so nervous. I feel like my chapter, and it is something very dear to me, but I feel like the chapter is proof that, like written in the book, it is not a life sentence, but it's the landscape we must learn to navigate. And these are living lessons in how to survive and eventually how to grow as a person, how to be a better person. And to all of us who want to make the little versions of ourselves smile, I hope that I could continue to help heal others in the work that I do, and to continue to help heal myself for my family and the little me inside. And I hope everyone enjoys and gets something out of this. We have some amazing stories and amazing women and men in this group, and we have a lot to offer so many people. So thank you so much for allowing me and helping me through this journey. I can't wait to see what all of us have in store and what we could do when we finally are able to stand up and look in the mirror. Thank you.
Thank you, Domo. Your chapter, when I was reading and editing that, I was crying like crazy, of course, because it's a very moving chapter. And you are so courageous, and by telling your story, you're going to impact so many people, because we don't know who is going through the same stuff. Maybe not the same stuff, but some bits and parts of that, right? But thank you for getting that out. Thank you for making this impact on others. And guys, please read that chapter. It's I don't have any words. I'm going to cry as well.
Thank you.
And Olga, I just said that, and as Domo started talking, I felt the same emotion in my heart, because I know after hearing just not all of her story, but some of her story, it was just heartbreaking, and to see what she had to go through, and she's still standing, and she's still giving, and she's still serving. Okay, and I tell you, and this is why, and she talks about her dear friend Jennifer, and Jennifer invited her to come. She told us about our retreat, and that's how we met. That's when we met Delmo. And when she came to the retreat, I would see her. She would always be running off, or she would always have her hair in her face. And then one day she came to our Olga and I was sharing a cabin, and she came in and she shared and she poured. And again, I want to say thanks to Forbes. I use what Forbes taught us to help her. And before Doma left that cabin, she looked into the mirror. So yes. So we don't know, we see people going around and we don't know their struggles unless they share it. Again, I repeat what Les Brown says. Your story is not for you. It's to help others overcome their struggles. And I'm sure Domo's story is going to help a lot of folks. So read her message, share it with others, because it may not be for you. The answers might be for someone else that you know. So thank you, Domo, for sharing.
Thank you so much. You guys have me shaking. Thank you very much, you guys. Thank you.
Well, oh gosh, we're going along here. Well, we don't want to start crying. It's too early. Well, our next chapter brings us into a very different expression of power. One that's rooted in presence, tenderness, and responsibility. Chris Gray shares a story that reflects on fatherhood, masculinity, and the quiet moments that shape who we become. His chapter explores how love, guidance, and emotional availability can leave a lasting imprint, not just on our children, but on the person who chooses to show up as a parent. The story invites us to rethink strength and to recognize that some of the most powerful influences in our lives come through care, consistency, and connection. Please join me in welcoming Chris Gray.
Thank you, Olga, or sorry, thank you, Diane and Olga, for this opportunity. I want to thank my Heavenly Father for bringing you beautiful souls into my life. I met Olga and Diane about, is it 6 years ago almost now? 6 years ago. And I had talked about writing my book and what my book was about. And through this whole time, they've encouraged me, and there's some other people on the phone that have encouraged me as well. And for me, fatherhood is kind of my ethos, and I've always been taught to give back. And one of the first questions I get asked is when they hear about fatherhood and what my mission is in life, they hear, well, did you not have a father? And like, I had, in my opinion, everyone says it, but my siblings will agree, we have the best father. And he is on the phone today, and I am who I am today because my father and my mother poured into me, and it was them becoming one and pouring into me, and it wasn't a struggle. And if we look at life, it is, if we look at society, a lot of the issues we have are right now because we have a lack of strong fathers being in kids' lives. And that is my chapter is about. And for me, my Heavenly Father, and Jesus was the embodiment of my Heavenly Father, is the perfect man and what a father should be. And it led me to start My Father's House KC. And we empower fathers to break through any barriers to be a part of their kids' life and be the leader that God called them to be. And to go along with the themes that the previous authors had already talked about, talk about impact. You can change this generation, generations to come, by solving the issues that we have at hand, by having strong fathers. And if a father says that their kid's better off without them, go look at the statistics, and I will show them that they are not. They need their father in their lives. Also, there's Olga talked about the house. There's so many homes where it looks perfect, but we don't know what's going on. And a lot of it has to do with the father not stepping up, being who he needs to be. Then Muneera, you talked about, what am I supposed to learn? Every day is an opportunity to learn. And as a father, you're not going to be perfect, to go along with Lori. You're not going to be perfect at all. But you can be present, and that's what it takes. And then, Domo, you were talking about the little girl. It is so important for fathers to be in their little girls' lives because that's who they're going to look to see what they are supposed to be with. And for the young men, we're teaching the men how to be men. And we have so many generations of boys raising boys or women raising boys to be men. And some make it through, but mostly they don't. And fatherhood is a divine appointment. And we are called to provide and protect. And a lot of fathers get caught on the provide part, but they forget the protect part. And we have to be protectors, especially now. We have to protect our families and our children. And protection requires proximity, and that proximity leads to intimacy, and that intimacy leads to the bonds that hold families together. So that's my chapter, and that is where God has led me to be, and that is what I'm working on. And if you go to my website, my foundation's website is www.myfathershousekc. You can follow along our journey. We are in the process of rehabbing a house to where one of the obstacles fathers have is even if the family's not together and they have court order visitation, they may not meet the criteria, at least here in the U.S., to be able to have that visitation. We're working on providing a home where they can have their visitation, and it's free of charge, so they can focus on making memories and building those bonds that holds families together. So I encourage you to, if you have any father that is struggling to be a father or has things going on, please give them my information. This is my calling. This is my service. And I'm blessed that God gave me a great example of what a man is supposed to be and what a father should be in himself and then my earthly father. So thank you, Olga and Diane. Thank you so much for this opportunity and always encouraging me and always giving me opportunities to be a part of your platform and share my story. Thank you so much. Oh, one last thing. Thank you for all my friends and family that have joined today to support me. I always have a tribe that comes with me to support. And thank you so much. I love you all.